Tour Stories / The Check-In is made possible by our friends over at Isotope. You know Isotope, and you know they are the best in audio repair, mixing, mastering, and general audio magic, like removing the heater sound that's going on right now. Thank you, Spectral Denoise. Head over to isotope.com for frequent deals on plugins for audio restoration, mixing, mastering, and more. That's izotope.com. Tour Stories is supported by the great DistroKid. As you know, DistroKid connects direct to TikTok with exclusive access to your TikTok artist account. What's new at DistroKid? You can do unlimited instant mastering. You can distribute your music videos, and the newest, greatest thing, Bandzoogle, where you can build a website and a store in minutes. And of course, they have an app, which is a delight to post new songs and get paid. Tour Story listeners get 30% off at distrokid.com/VIP/Tour Stories. DistroKid. Get your music out there. I'd like to welcome our newest sponsor, Schecter Guitars. Yes, I play drums, but in my band, I am the lead guitarist and I play Schecter. Schecter makes a wide variety of guitars in various styles, all high quality built with the best materials and pickups, beautiful fretboards, and always a comfortable feel. The bonus with these high quality instruments is that they are priced right. I just ordered 2 guitars. The one I can tell you about is the Robert Smith Ultra Cure in Black Pearl. Also consider heading over to the Schecter Custom Shop and find yourself a premium USA-built instrument and have it shipped straight to your door. Head over to schecterguitars.com. You'll be there for a while, trust me. Jakey T, what's happening?
Just hanging out here in my living room.
Remember when I used to call you that when we were younger?
Yeah, I couldn't get you to stop.
Jacob, how's it going?
It's going really, really swell. How's it going with you?
I'm fine.
Good.
I'm good today. I like your background. Records. Where are you?
This is my living room. This is me and my wife. We got married in Vegas a couple years ago. There's just a bunch of those pictures in the background. My niece got me that little Bart Simpson right there. Yeah.
Are you a Simpsons person?
I grew up with it. I liked it a lot when I was. I love The Simpsons, but I don't keep up with a lot of TV anymore.
So you're in San Diego?
I am, yeah. Which is like, that's kind of like, I guess your stomping grounds too. A little bit.
Yeah, I've spent some time there. I love San Diego. Did you grow up there?
I did. I actually just reached out to Paul Jenkins this morning. I was like, what do you I was worried that I wouldn't have anything to talk about. What should I talk about? He's like, dogs. Talk to him about dogs and hair salons with cool names.
Oh my God, that's a deep cut from Paul. Talk about throwing not throwing knives. What does he talk about now?
I've seen him. Yeah, he messes around with the butterfly knives.
Yeah, I don't think we call them butterfly knives anymore.
Oh shit!
But he corrected me a couple weeks ago. But enough about Paul. He's a lead singer. Everyone talks about him all the time. Let's talk about your lead singing. And actually, as I said, I love San Diego. But tell me about your experience in that vibrant, rich scene that's still going.
Yeah, I just grew up with 91X and Rock 102.1, the rock radio stations here, and all the DJs. And then most people started seeing bands in high school, and we're lucky to have so many legendary bands here. And including Black Heart's always been one of my faves, but just that pool of 3 Mile Pilot and Pinback and Rocket and just a lot of the Casbah bands. I was too young to go to those shows, but there were all the older kids in my high school were giving us an education. So my teacher gave me Drive Like Jehu when I was in art class. And, yeah. So I still feel ensconced in everything San Diego. You know, it's my bread and butter, I guess. I just always talk about San Diego music.
And when did you start rocking and rolling? I'm assuming guitar was your first instrument, but you can correct me.
I actually like learned how to play the drums, and my cousin left his like swap meet, Kobe's swap meet drum piece together kit in my garage when I was little, and I just like taught myself by listening to different bands and stuff. But I started playing in bands in high school, and they were terrible. But then like after high school, I started playing around San Diego a lot. You know, I didn't know like how to get into the Shea or how to get into the Casbah, so I'd play everywhere else, and then eventually move into those spots. And
I thought you might play drums because I saw a little snippet of you maybe playing a Nirvana part.
Oh yeah.
Very funny. That video is great. I want to talk about that in a little bit, but it was really funny. Just a quick snippet.
I had to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to. Well, Mrs. Magician has been a band for going on like 15 years, 14 years, something like that.
Yeah, it's been it feels like shorter than it has been, but yes, it started like in 2010. I was playing in like a band called Blazer Grave, and it was like a post-punk kind of band, and that eventually like turned into Soft Kill, and then I was out of it by then, and I wanted to write songs because I was playing drums in that band, and started Mrs. Magician. It's been a long time. Yeah,
and I've been following thanks to your ambassador John Reese.
Oh, right.
I think we were having a conversation about a band I used to be in called the Magic Magicians, and I think he quickly said, "You guys got to tour with Mrs. Magician," and then he kind of hipped me to you guys.
How long ago was that?
I mean, it was like 10 years ago.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But ever since then, you know, I checked out your tunes, and the special thing for Mrs. Magician for me is like I could shuffle your entire catalog, or, you know, just put on a record. And every time I'm with other people, everyone has something to say and pays attention to your songs. And I think it lends to a lot of things, but your songwriting craft is like, you got the hooks, you got the wit. You always keep people guessing. It's kind of timeless.
Thank you.
To be honest,
that's really nice of you to say that.
Because I was thinking about it today. Why have I listened to this band so long? And I just that dawned on me, because every time, as I said, every time I'm with someone else, we always enjoy it. That doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't wear off either. And with this you've had a little bit of a gap with this new record, Spiritual Hangover. And you've always celebrated garagey punk, maybe like, you know, Kinks, British Invasion sounds. And you're still operating on that. But this record has got some muscle, a little more meat on the bone. And I want to know what put you in that direction.
My friend Christian, who like produced the whole thing or recorded the whole thing with me, we were just like, I want to do like something that's not a lo-fi sounding thing, but, you know, like kind of reminds me of the records that we grew up like thinking were classic, you know, like Tom Petty. And then we kept talking about Tom Petty's like Damn the Torpedoes. I'm like, man, how do we get that drum sound? And then he's like, we should just go to the studio and use the board where they recorded that record on. And we're like, I don't think that's possible. And it was possible. So like, we just really like dialed in the drums. Like we were like super into just getting the drums to be like this, you know, really punchy power pop kind of sound. And I was like, yeah, I don't want it to sound lo-fi at all. I want it to sound big, but I also don't want it to sound like modern and soulless, you know? So we tried really, really hard to kind of dial in like all the guitar tones. And I live across the street from a recording studio called Singing Serpent. And it kind of doubles as like, you know, satellite amplifiers.
Yeah.
So Adam would like just lend us all these really rad amps. So we kind of had a lot of time to like fiddle around with really cool guitar tones, and just felt like we took a lot of time with it. So
yeah, it's a big record, big sounding.
Thank you.
Hello there. Ruinous would like to thank our newest partners, Heil Sound. For 60 years, Heil Sound has provided innovative, professional, quality sound for stage, studio, broadcast, and of course, podcast. Grammy Award-winning artists and sound engineers worldwide trust Heil microphones for their legendary sound. I'm using the PR40 right now. It's great for voice and bass drum. To find out more about the full line of Heil microphones and products, visit heilsound.com. That's HeilSound.com. Check it out. And as I mentioned, has it been about 10 years since your last release or less?
That's like the last time Mrs. Magician put out a record was in 2016.
Okay. And this record retains the spirit and sarcasm and maybe pessimism and wit that all your previous records have, but I can't help but think with a name like Spiritual Hangover, you're writing about something a little bit different, maybe a little broader, maybe existential. Where are you coming from?
Yeah, I was trying to think. I always think of titles before I dive into writing songs or anything. And I was just trying to think about like where I was, or where I am, or where we all are. It just kind of seemed like the first record that we did was just kind of like you're in your 20s and it's like a middle finger towards like just religion as a whole. And then you kind of sit back and get older and you realize like, well, I still am not really a religious person, but like I feel like I honestly was like, I just feel exhausted from all this stuff, and I want to have like an understanding of what we're all going through, the human condition, but like also just like so exhausted even talking about it and thinking about it. So I just kind of felt like, all right, let's start there. Spiritual Hangover sounds kind of like people can kind of like understand what that means and also not at the same time. Yeah, I feel like I have a hangover from all this shit too, you know, like social media garbage, people trying to throw their opinions at you about what's the right thing to believe. And yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of like where I started.
The delivery is fantastic.
Thank you.
I'd like to play a little bit of Dead Alive. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Life is a masquerade and every hour wastes away. Puke up my destiny, this life will be the death of me. Dead or alive, dead or alive, dead or alive, dead or alive. A million open doors and one day cleaning bathroom floors, and that never bothered me. You can't sweep away my dignity. Dead or alive, dead or alive, dead or alive, dead or alive. Don't you wanna
Yes, sirree. Great tune. And I think we've hinted a little bit about where you recorded some of this record. I don't know exactly how much. I know some was at Singing Serpent, but also Dave Grohl's 606.
Yeah.
I like to call it for fun.
Me too.
It's Nate Mendel's 606 too.
Exactly.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah, and it was like, and that studio, I think we were like trying to be like, maybe there's going to be some magic if we go there and use that board and we use all the same wires as like all the bands that have made records on it, you know, and just kind of like,
yeah.
And it, without sounding like really silly, it definitely felt magical, like being there. I don't know if it was just because we hyped each other up, but just like, I think it also has something to do with, they have like pictures of all, you know, there's like Nirvana pictures on everywhere and just cool like shit lying all around. You're like, you just feel like you're making something special. It feels like that at Singing Serpent too. but it's just
Yeah.
different, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I've recorded there, little things mostly. I don't know if I've done anything big. I've done overdubs and stuff there,
Yeah.
and hung out there. It is a special place. It's so huge, but it's so cozy in that gigantic CBS studio 50s style room.
Yeah. I remember we went to use the restroom, and they had, everywhere you go there's something rad, but they had like the moon man on top of the toilet, and like
That's
I
right,
picked it up and like took pictures with it, and like, and you're not supposed to, and I've never shown anybody, but like in the mirror it looked like I won like a MTV Music Award, because I mean you have to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, you do. Yeah. When I first learned that, I was like, oh, that's where the energy, some of this bigger sounding energy's got to come from that room.
Oh, absolutely. And like we were like, let's just like do the meat and potatoes, like the drums and bass and guitar. We couldn't do the bass because we had like scheduling issues, but Drew and I, Drew's like kind of like new to Mrs. Magician, but I mean, he's like toured with us a bunch in the past, but just in terms of like recording on stuff. But he plays in a rad band here in San Diego called The Sesh, like a really great rock and roll band. And he's a great engineer. So we just kind of like, let's just jam and jam and jam until we get super tight, go there, do it how we're supposed to do it. So we just spent like in the early morning to late night, just like powering through all the songs. And what rules is like, I didn't think we were going to be able to use any of the scratch guitar tracks, but we practically all of them. We were just like, so like, we just, you know, practiced the shit out of those songs until we were like locked in. So it felt really good to like, and I mean, like they had so many amps you could choose from there.
Yeah.
But like, I ended up picking like this new Supro that they had. I'm like, oh, whose Supro is that? And I was all excited. And they're like, oh, Supro just dropped those off one day. There's like no special story behind it, but it sounded great.
Right. Yeah. Well, you seasoned it, I would say. Yeah. And what a great room to focus on drums in.
Absolutely.
And then you got some extra fruit, some extra guitar tracks because of the energy, I suspect.
I think so.
And Reese plays on this record too, John Reese.
He does. He plays like on half of it.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, it's like half like the songs are John, and then the other half my buddy Ian, who plays in a band called Aquabats, and he's like, they're both so different stylistically, like how they play, they're so different, but it's kind of like, it makes it fun because it's sprinkled out through the record. It's not like half this side is John, half that side's Ian. It's all mixed up.
It's nice to hear that distinct, you know, when the guitars are panned, to hear that distinct John Reese sound.
It was hard to get rid of stuff because he just started layering and guitars. Yeah. And he's like, just throw away whatever you want. And we were like, I don't want to throw away any of this stuff, but we had to cut some stuff. But
kill your babies, I think, is an old saying. Kill your babies. Yeah. Kill your John Reese guitar track babies. And as I mentioned earlier, you made a little clip that is kind of is a narrative of the making of this record. And I kind of want to steal some stuff for it, by the way, but it's such a cool vibe. Is the visual presentation of Mrs. Magician equally as important as the music? Because it always winds up so cool. I mean, your cover art and that video, etc.
I think like it initially was 100% like leaning on our friend Dustin Dirtweed from San Diego, who does a lot of art for the businesses around here. He does all the art for Soda Bar, TNT Pizza. He's just a great artist, and I would flip through his art and be like, how about this for the cover of the record? And we used to just do that, like using his art pieces, and it worked out for a long time. And then he's like, I think it just naturally, like, I'm like, okay, I like this kind of Xeroxy looking scuffed up stuff. And he's kind of unavailable now, or if he is, I can't afford him anymore. But so I just started like doing a lot of the art myself, and then kind of having that like, okay, this is what the band, this works really well with the music. And, you know, the new record, I'm like, I'm just going to do all the art for it and see how it works. And it's kind of been working, and a lot of the editing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can tell the cohesion. It's like, it's just very cohesive, the aesthetic, the music, the art.
It's always kind of like funny too. Like a lot of the stuff, like Dirt, you know, Dusty you know, like on the second record we did, there's just like a Junior Seau, like little like homage in the center of the record. It's just like little weird, funny, quirky San Diego related stuff thrown into all of it.
Right. So the record comes out on May 15th on Swami.
Yeah.
Do you have shows planned? Do you have some touring?
We have like, we have 2 shows with Weird Nightmare. We were supposed, it was supposed to be a lot longer, but like, man, gas is insane. So
I know.
We couldn't make it happen, but we're kind of just dipping our toes back in with those 2 shows. And like, I love Alex and I love Chris. I just like Mets is one of my favorite bands. So like naturally I was like so excited to play shows with Weird Nightmare. And we have one show at the Soda Bar for like a release show, and then kind of just like don't really have much else right now. You know, it's kind of just waiting to see if anybody even likes what we're doing. It's kind of...
Oh, people are going to like it. When are the Weird Nightmare shows?
25th and the 26th of this month. So it's in LA at this place called Gold Diggers that I've never been to. And then we're playing Oakland at a place called the Stork Club, which I played like almost 20 years ago. But
yeah, wow, it's still there.
Yeah, it was like a goth kind of a club when we played it. And there was like, all I remember is they had like a bunch of little dolls behind the bar. I'm like, I wonder if that's still there. Because I really wanted to play Bottom of the Hill as well, but there's just no time.
Yeah, and that sucker's closing.
I know that's that's kind of like the thing. But I'm stoked that we get to go up there at all, you know.
Yeah, I was just talking about Bottom of the Hill. I remember the first time I played there, and it could have been with Black Heart. I felt like, this is it.
Yeah,
we made it. We fucking made it. Headlining at Bottom of the Hill is like fucking amazing.
I felt the same way. I remember hearing Murder City Devils say the same thing. It was like, they were like, is anybody going to be, like in the documentary, they were worried people were going to show up, but they sold out that Bottom of the Hill show. And I'm like, that must have been such a great feeling, you know? And it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I rarely tell a tour story, but now that we're on the subject of Black Heart and the Bottom of the Hill, I'm going to mention this.
Sure.
It's a funny story. We played with the X in San Francisco, the band from Holland, and they are notoriously like, it's like seeing Fugazi, right? You never, ever want to play after them.
Right.
And the first night we did. And it was like, it was so, you know, and compared to their high energy.
I was going to say with Black Heart too, that's got to be, I mean, that's like, I would really enjoy that, but I could imagine people were just kind of like, you get like this peak and then you kind of die down, you know?
And it was like, hey, here we are.
Yeah. Oh man, I would love that, but yeah, that's a tough situation to be in for sure.
Well, man, you should be proud of this record. It's really great.
Thank you very much.
I've been privileged to listen to the whole thing, thanks to you. Try to play some shows. I know gas is expensive, but I think people will love it. Make it up to the Northwest if you can.
I desperately want to, so hopefully we will.
All right. Well, great to meet you.
Likewise.
And again, congrats on the record, and I hope to see you out there. Maybe I'll be in LA when you're there. I don't know. But if I am, I'll make it over to Gold Diggers.
Right on, man.
All right. Take care of yourself.
You too. Thank you.